Good morning there, everybody. Welcome in the kitchen with Tally Faye. Hope everybody's doing good today. It's a nice old Friday morning. Welcome to Friday, right? Woo! Live for Fridays. I remember them days. You just lived for Friday. It didn't matter. Just Friday couldn't get here soon enough, right? So all you working people out there, welcome to Friday. I'm working on me and Buzz some supper for tonight. Getting a start on it this morning because I want to get our dessert made first. And what I'm doing today is I want to show y'all things that I'm going to cook that I have frozen in the freezer, like leftover things, and then what I create out of those, okay? So the first thing I'm going to work on this morning is I had, a while back ago, I made some fried peach pies, y'all. So I don't know, look in here, can y'all see them? I had, that looks like about a cup and a half, maybe two. I don't think that's 2 cups. But anyway, a big cup and a half right around in there. It don't matter how much. Measurements don't matter on this fried pie thing, okay? And this is my leftovers. So I've got my peach pie filling already ready. So I've thawed it out this morning. And it's going to make just enough little fried pies for Buzz and I. So that's how I worked that out. When I made my first batch of them up, I just had too many peaches left. So I just froze it, labeled it peach pie filling, and knew that one day, you know, I'd pop in there and just grab that out and whoop out some fried pies. So that's what we're going to do this morning. And I'm ready for it. Are y'all ready? Ready to make some fried pies? Okay, I got me some self-rising flour here, y'all. Self-rising flour. I like to use that in these. I'm going to take my ring and Daddy's watch off. Okay. And listen, ain't no measuring. I tell you what, I'll measure this for y'all just to give you an idea, okay? Let me see here. I'm going to get me a cup, and we'll see how much I put in there. I'm just going to shake it out, okay? We'll do 2 cups of it, okay? That's probably going to be too much, but we'll do it. Okay, there we go. 2 cups of my self-rising flour. So now, I'm just going to take me, I want about, can y'all see? And that's kind of hard for you to see with that lighting. But I'm going to dig me up. I want y'all to see this. Okay, look. Look at it compared to my hand. It's just a regular old tablespoon out of the drawer, right? And so I've got me about that big of a ball. It's bigger than an egg, y'all. It's about an egg and a half size, okay? Couple golf ball sizes, I guess. Anyway, I'm going to put 2 wads of my shortening in here, okay? And I'm going to go ahead and kind of break them up in it. So we got 2 cups of self-rising flour and 2 golf ball size hunks of our vegetable shortening, okay? And get it kind of crumbled up in there, kind of mixed in with the flour. And it don't have to be perfect, but you just want to kind of get it distributed out through there, okay? And I just squeeze it through my hands, and that way I can feel the bigger lumps, you know. Okay. That ought to be good right there. I'm going to show it to you, and it's kind of crumbly looking. See, look. See, it's got big crumbles in it. So it ain't all powdery looking or nothing like that. Now, I normally use buttermilk, y'all. I don't have any buttermilk right now, so I'm going to use sweet milk. Ain't no big thing, right? I prefer buttermilk. I do think it does better, but that's just because I like it like that. I do that with my biscuits and dumplings and everything. Buttermilk is just awesome for that. It has the right whatever thingamajiggies in there that makes it do right in the cooking process. You know, the scientific part, you know. I don't know all that. I just know that the buttermilk works better, but we're using sweet milk this morning, okay? Grab that. Now, this is kind of going to be hard for me. I'm going to do this a half a cup at a time. That way, maybe I can give y'all better ideas as far as just some type of measurement on it. Okay, let's do a half a cup. We're going to start off with that and see where that takes me, okay? Okay. I'm just going to stir it up in here and kind of squeeze it between my fingers. Okay, we know half a cup. I can tell that already is not enough, so let's go for a cup, okay? All right. 1 cup. And that's probably going to do the trick, y'all. I know it is. It's got it pretty soft. So, if you were wanting to know an exact measurement, maybe a cup and a half, okay? As far as the sweet milk. See, buttermilk would probably take 2 cups because it's thicker, right? But, you know, a cup and a half to 2 cups. I'm sorry. A half a cup to 1 cup of your sweet milk, okay? 1 cup to 1.5 cups. Don't let me get you mixed up on that. Let me put this up. Get this other stuff out of my way here, because I want y'all to be able to see this. If at all possible, closer. Let me see. That's about as close as I can get it, y'all. Okay? Alright, I want you to see. See, it's real sticky right now, right? So, what I'm going to do is put me some flour on my board. Just get me some flour out of my bag here. Put it on my board. I'm going to dump this dough out onto it. I need to back that up. That just ain't going to work. Y'all just have to look at it from afar. Okay. Now, I've got my dough, and we want to add some of this flour to it now, because it's a little soft, okay? We want it stiff where we can work it. Roll it out and work it. This, when it's soft like that, that's when you'd stop right there and make biscuits out of it. You'd make your biscuits right then and there, without even adding any other flour to it. But we're going to work a little more flour into this, because we want it kind of stiff. So let's just add us some flour, work it in there. I just sprinkled it on top. Kind of work it around here and push it in. And how you'll know it's stiff enough is when we get ready to roll it out on here. If it don't stick to your board. That's your best sign. Okay? So it feels pretty good to me now. See, I'm having to really push in on it, right? So there's our little wad of dough for our fried pies. Okay? Now, spread that out there. And just for the sake of ease on messing with it, I'm going to cut my little ball in half, okay? Make it kind of like a disc. Give me some more flour out here, just to give it something to work with, okay? A little bit on my rolling pin, and we're off. Get these boogers rolled out. I wanted to use everything I could today out of the freezer. Buzz has got the garden planted and stuff, and we need to start using up all our veggies and all that stuff that's in the freezer now to get ready for this coming season. So, okay, you roll this out thin, y'all. Roll it out thin. Okay? That feels pretty good. Let's see if it'll lift for me. Look at there. See there? It's coming up off the board, no sticking. We know we're good to go, okay? So you get whatever you want to cut it with. Remember, this is my little handy dandy cutter that I like to use that's got the thing that crimps it together. So I'm just gonna take it and cut out my circles. And this makes kind of smaller fried pies. It don't make them big as the little half moon ones, but it actually still makes them perfect. Perfect for eating on. I'm just going to put that to the side. Now we have our little dough. And I'm just going to take my pie filling and spoon it in there. Okay? Try not to overfill it, because it'll run all out the edges anyway. And then you'll lose everything. So we're just going to put some in here. So that's 1, 2, 3. Because I need me a top on them. That's how I do these with this little cutter. Okay, there. And here. Okay. There it is. Now, got me a little bowl of water here. Just some water to tap my fingers in. I'm just going to go around the edge of the one I'm going to put on the top. It's easier than trying to do the one with the filling in it. And just splatch you some water around the edges of it, okay? Do that. It's really easy, y'all. Y'all seen how easy that was to make that crust. 2 cups of your self-rising flour, 2 golf ball sizes of your shortening, and like I say, 1/2 to 1, somewhere in there, cup of your sweet milk, if you're using sweet milk. Like I say, buttermilk would probably have to have more. Alright, so now I'm going to lay the top on them. Just come across there like that. Got my tops on now. And now I'm just going to take I'm going to put me a little pile of flour here just to dip it in. Just because. Now put it over the top of them, and I'm going to just press down, and it crimps it. You see? Can you see? This little thing is handy as a pocket on a shirt, y'all. I love this little thing. Lulu, come here. She's wanting to follow Daddy out the driveway. He's going to the ranch, and she loves to go and ride in that buggy with him. Look at all them exotic deer and stuff. Okay. First little round of them, just like that, y'all. Bam. Okay. So now I have over here, and I'll move my thing over here in a second. But I have my grease in my skillet, and I've got about, I don't know, probably about 3 cups of oil in there. And I'm going to get my grease hot, and I'm going to crank it up and get it hot first, right? And then I'm going to turn my fire down to medium and give it just a second, and then I'm going to put them in there. Because if you cook them too hot, it burns them too much. You don't want it that hot. But you crank it up and get it hot, and then lower your fire and let it kind of even out, and then start dropping your pies in there. So I'm going to get my grease hot, get my light put over here and everything, and I'll be right back. Okay, everybody, just to make sure, I wanted to make sure because I said it wrong a couple of times, and then I said it right a couple of times. But the amount of milk that I put in this recipe for this dough was 1/2 cup to 1 cup. But really, it's about 3/4 of a cup is what it's going to end up being, the one to make it right. But like I say, if you put 1 cup in there, all you got to do is just add you a little flour on your board. But I just wanted to make sure that I cleared that up, that it's not 2 cups or 1, I don't know what I said. Anyway, it was I don't know why I got mixed up on what I was saying. That's why I don't do measurements on this thing. But anyway, it's a 1/2 cup to 1 cup of milk to the measurements of flour and all that I gave you. Alrighty, so I got us over here by the grease, and I want y'all to kind of see. Can y'all kind of see how much I got in there? You know, it's kind of deep, but not like deep, okay? Because I'm going to have to flip them and stuff. But I've got my grease hot. I do that by checking it with got me a little pinch of flour, and check it and see if that flour disintegrates on the top of the oil, then you know it's ready. But if it just goes immediately to the bottom, you know your grease isn't hot enough yet. And you want your grease hot when you first drop them in here, because if you don't, they'll sit there in that grease and absorb all of it, and everything just does not work. Okay? So, I've got my little pies now, right? So we're going to just take them and set them down in here. Okay, now I see my grease is good, so I'm going to turn it down to like a medium. You have to figure that out on your stove, right? You just don't want them cooking full blast. Uh-oh, I tore that one. I'm going to have to let him be. I'll have to do some repair work. But here's 4 of them I can put in there. Okay? I'm going to let y'all see how that works. We'll get that done. And then I will fry up the rest of them. Get the rest of them made up. And then show you what I do at the last. But right now, see, like they're floating in there. And I'm moving them a little bit, but I'm just barely bumping them, y'all. You want them to get a good crust on them before you touch them at all, as far as trying to turn them or anything like that. But these little boogers are yummy. So I'll have them made. And like I say, this was some peaches from out of the freezer that I had already, some peach pie filling that I had already made from some pies I'd made previously. Oh. Give them a peek. Now that I know I can touch them, I want them a little bit browner than that. You want a good golden crust on them and know that they're sealed well. And if you want to know how to do the peach pie filling, you can look at my previous recipe on making homemade fried peach pies. And y'all, I've told you this before, I'm just better with 2 forks. I turn one of them around so I don't puncture it. I turn one around and use the other one like this for picking it up. And that way, I can just flip them right over real easy. And I don't poke a hole in them with this fork because I'm using the back side of it. And it just slides right down. Look at that. I'll show them to you up close in a minute. It don't take but a minute to get them fried, y'all. And like I say, I do prefer making my dough with buttermilk. But, hey, like I've told you, you got to use what you got out of the kitchen. Make it work. And ain't nothing wrong with using sweet milk in your dumplings, your pie dough, your biscuits, anything. You can use sweet milk in it. But, like I say, I prefer the buttermilk. But, okay, I got to be easy with those. Now, these got the tops of them are more rounded, which is the cute side. So we want that to cook pretty. Let it get brown. See, I'm frying them gently now. So, oh yeah. Look at that, y'all. Purty, purty. Okay, these little boogers are ready. Just like that, see? See how easy that is to make homemade fried peach pies, y'all? From scratch. Fresh peaches out of the freezer. and some flour and shortening and milk. And looky there, y'all. Look at that. Isn't that pretty? And see here, when I get through with them, I'm going to make some drizzle to go over the top of them. Okay? You can either do the drizzle with the powdered sugar like I'm going to do, or you can get you some cinnamon and sugar and sprinkle on the top of them while they're hot right now, and sprinkle them down if you want to. Okay. I'm going to get busy over here and finish making all the rest of them up. And when I get a platter of them done up, then I'll show you what I do with the drizzle that I put on them. Okay? Okay, y'all, I wanted you to see real quick. The last thing I did, I had a little old thing of dough left. Okay, so like I was telling y'all, that that measurement that I made for the amount of peaches I had was just a little bit too much, but that ain't no thing, because what I'm going to do is I've got flour everywhere. It's a Tally Faye mess. I've got my Watermelon Rind Preserves that I put up last year, right? So I'm going to take them. Give me a spoon here. I want one with the holes in it. There we go. Okay. So I'm going to take these Watermelon Rind Preserves, and I'm going to go across here like this, okay? And I'm just going to spread these out on this side of this little dough. I rolled it out thin. I'm going to go ahead and put the juice and all in there. We'll see what I can get out of it, okay? There we go. That's what I have left of that. So, I'm going to take this and spread it out, kind of like that. Okay? I want to spread it out evenly as I can, because now I'm going to take this part of my dough and I'm just going to fold it over here, okay? Now, I'll just use this little thing here. It ain't got to be pretty, because I'm telling you, it ain't going to be pretty, but it will be good. Let me kind of trim it off here so I can see what I'm doing. Okay? Get that out of the way. Now, I've got all my stuff in there, right? I'm going to take this. I'm trying to figure out something. I'm going to take my little cutter thingy here. I'm going to use this handle to try to separate them out. See if I can pinch it together. And I'm going to make these little pockets. That's my plan, y'all. See, that's the fun about cooking. Sometimes you don't know what you're going to get, right? Don't be scared. Don't be scared. Okay, now I'm going to take this side and cut it in that little area where I pinched them down, okay? So now I want to make sure that they're pinched, so I'm just going to take my fingers and go around it like this, because I'm still going to cut it down to a couple more little pocket size. Just take my fingers and go around here and try to seal it off as best as I can there. Just pressing down on it. Get me a little flour. Okay. Pinch them down. Alright, I've got one more pocket I want to cut, I think. Just one more. Yeah, I'm going to do it. I'm going to cut them in half. Okay? See, I'm going to kind of do it about like that. Scoot that over here. And this one here. Alright, pinch that off now. On that end. Okay, I got me some little pockets here. A couple of them may not work. I see some holes in them in the filling, you know, will come out on them. Maybe, maybe not. You don't know. But most of the time, if there's a little pocket, a little tear in your dough or whatever, it'll cause leakage on them. Put me some flour on that. Maybe that'll... Sometimes this works and sometimes it don't. Putting you some flour on there. But that's what we're going to do with it. Oh, I got one more. I'm going to try to put a little on that one. That watermelon rind has some big chunks in it, so it's kind of puncturing the dough. Okay, I'm going to get my grease back hot. And we're going to fry up these little watermelon rind pockets. I'll show you here in a minute. Okay, here's our little watermelon rind pockets that we're going to see if we can make these boogers work out right. I think my grease is hot enough. Trying to be handling these gentle like. See if I can make that work. I may still just have to pick them up if I can't get them off of here. So far, so good. A couple of them here are really full. So, we'll see what that does. I'm going to put them all in here at the same time. It's do or die, y'all. Don't be scared. That one's a die. Because it's stuck to my little spatula. Dang it, and it was a good full one too. But anyway, we'll leave it there. That booger's too hot for me to touch it right now. Let me see, I can get another napkin. There we go. Alright. It's the same process. We're just frying up some little pockets made out of the extra dough. Look, there's a chunk of that watermelon. Woo! That's good, y'all. And watermelon rind preserves. I don't know about in this. This should be delicious because it's basically biscuit dough. Excuse me. But if you ever make those watermelon rind preserves and you make a pan of biscuits, oh my goodness, you will love it. And really, y'all, with it being the watermelon rind, it doesn't taste like watermelon like you're thinking. Because you know how the rind is way less watermelon-y, right? But it still has some, because you use all of that rind out of that shell when you're doing those preserves. And then just chunk it all up. Anyway, it's fun. I might make those for y'all on one of my videos one of these times during the summertime when we get our watermelons in and stuff. Or when we get watermelons. Buzz can't hardly grow watermelons out here in this dirt. Our dirt don't work good. One year we had all the watermelons and more that we could have, so it's kind of off and on with melons. Cantaloupe, watermelon, stuff like that. And boy, do I love them. But either way, I'm going to acquire me some watermelon in the summertime, whether we grow it or buy it. Uh-oh, I had my camera off of it. But look, see how beautifully brown they are? Turn my fire off. We're fixing to take them up. Just like that, y'all. Just like that. They smell wonderful. They smell different from the peach ones. Isn't that funny? You smell the different fruits. I'm just going to take them up on here. Let them drain good. And we'll taste one of these first after they cool off to see whether or not I will even want to put a drizzle on them or whether you just eat them just as they are. But there's that. So now I'm going to get over here and get my other stuff set up, and we'll make the drizzle, and I'll show you the finished deal on it. Alrighty, y'all. Everything's done on that. I want you to see how pretty these pies are. Let me put it down here where you can see a little bit. Look at that. Uh-huh. Ain't them pretty? Good old homemade fried peach pies. Got them done. And then, y'all, our little experiment while we were at it, our little watermelon pockets. Watermelon rind jelly pockets or preserves. Anyway, what I tasted of one, and I'm going to show y'all one just cause. I wouldn't put, let me see, I wouldn't put a thing on them. They taste just like a biscuit, a fried biscuit. Do you know what fried biscuits taste like? We eat some fried biscuits now. And that's exactly what this tastes like, what I was telling you about putting it on an old homemade biscuit. I'll tell you what, let me find one I can open up here. Okay, I'm going to do it here. Let me put it down here where you can really see what I'm doing. Okay, now look at the inside of it in there. You see that? Oh my goodness, y'all. This right here is country, baby. That's some country stuff right there. Country cooking. Y'all need to try to do that. If you ain't got watermelons, pick out your, you know, like peach preserves or apricot preserves or cherry preserves, any of that, but just roll that dough out thin, flip it over, and then make you some seams on there, and then pinch them off and fry them just like we did these fried peach pies. But like I say, it's just like eating a fried biscuit with warm jelly in the middle of it. Okay? But for the fried peach pies, y'all, I'm going to do this. Get them set up on my little thingy in here. My little stand. And y'all, I have powdered sugar, confectioner sugar, powdered sugar, okay? And there is no measurements to this either. So I'm just taking me, there we go. I'm gonna take about that much. 3 big old heaping of these regular old tablespoons from your kitchen drawer, okay? Now, the main thing to always remember, see, I just got me some water in here. This is not measured. I just put me some water in here because what you're going to do, can y'all see what I'm doing? I'll try it like this so maybe y'all will understand a little better. There's 1, 2. We're going to stir that and see what it does, because you will get it watery right quick. Look what those 2 did. Look how watery that, how thin that made it right then. I want it just a tad more, y'all, because I want it to be able to pour over them. And I mean, so I'm going to just put a drop or 2. A splash. Until I get it to where I want it to run off my spoon. That's all you're wanting it to do, is run off your spoon. That's a little bit of a blob there. Just one more little splash, and I know that's all I'm going to put in there. Without a doubt. Okay. That's all you got to do for that now. See how much better it's running? See that? It's running quick, but not watery. Okay? So all I'm going to do now is take it and just take my spoon, and I'm just going to drizzle it over them. You put as little or a lot or whatever as you want on there. I just like just a little tasty of it, you know. Do it kind of like that. Okay. Now I'm going to take these and kind of do them like that. Oh, it worked out perfect for the little pan here. Don't them look pretty? I'll tell you what, we'll try one, and we're going to try this one because this one got a hole in it. So I'm going to set it to the side and put that one right there. And then there we have it, y'all. There's mine and Buzz's dessert for tonight. Look at that. Pretty, huh? That's going to be pretty sitting there on the bar. Put my top on it, keep the old flies off of them when they come in, because it is warming up the weather and the flies are starting to come in. But let's check this one out. We'll try it, y'all, together. See? There it is. And there's our peaches inside. Y'all, there ain't nothing like those homegrown peaches. You can use the one in the can. But a fresh peach. Hold on. A fresh peach will top a canned one any day. Any day. That's the great thing about when you freeze them. If you freeze them, they keep that fresh taste like that. Now I like to make homemade peach peeling preserves. That's my favorite thing to make my fried pies with, is the peelings. So when I get a bushel of peaches and I'm peeling them, I save my peelings to the side. I wash my peaches real good before I ever peel them, but save my peelings to the side, and then I go ahead and do my thing with my peaches. I slice them up and sprinkle just a little bit of sugar and maybe a little bit of lemon juice on them, because they turn dark, tend to turn dark a little bit, which ain't nothing. It's just a color change on them. But and I put those up in the freezer, and then on my peelings I do the same thing. Put a little bit of sugar, a little bit of lemon juice, and just toss them around, put them in a Ziploc baggie, and put them in the freezer. And when I get ready, then I can make peach peeling preserves or fried peach pies with those peelings, and it is the bomb. And it ain't all fuzzy like you're thinking about on your tongue, you know. It don't do none of that. That goes away when you're cooking them and stuff. So, but anyway, y'all, here's the fried peach pies from our leftover peach pie filling that I had in the freezer. So that, and then, you know, we had a little extra dough, had some leftover watermelon rind preserves in the refrigerator, made do with that, and it's delicious. So y'all try this, and I'm going to show y'all after a while the other things I'm doing today with my freezer selection of leftovers and what kind of meal I'm going to make with that. But y'all do these fried pies. They're good. I have it on my other video too if you want to know how to do the homemade peaches in it. But y'all have a good one and enjoy. And I love you guys. In the Kitchen with Tally Faye.